On this episode of Travels with Bill, we're in Kamsack, Saskatchewan at the Trackside Gardens. This is built and maintained by volunteers. In fact, we've got a picture of just some of the Trackside crew here out to go gardening for the day. Lots of people have put work into this though, besides just them. Some flowers here to start, and then we're going to get inside the garden and see a whole bunch more. One of my favorite parts of the garden is before you even get inside. Check this out, isn't it amazing? That grows all summer. Now, to be fair, we're here fairly early in the year, so it hasn't quite filled in completely since winter, but you get the picture of what's going to happen here, and it only gets better and better as the spring and summer go on. We are visiting early in the year, so you can see the beginnings of the garden. Some of the flowers disappear, of course, as time goes on, so we're catching the early ones now. You can come anytime in the season, though, from spring all the way through summer. There's always something to see in the garden. One of the best reasons to come see the garden is if you're hungry, because right across the street there's an amazing Chinese restaurant. They've got a wonderful buffet on Sundays, and that's actually what we're doing. We came for the food, but we're going to film the garden while we're here anyway, so you can see what you could expect when you come to eat some Chinese food, and maybe have a stroll through the garden as well. It's a trackside garden, and you know, back in the day, a lot of these existed. Pretty much everywhere there was a station, a railway station, there was also a garden, and often the train guy looked after the trains and his wife looked after the garden. It wasn't just for show though, it was an opportunity to show what plants would grow in this new part of Canada as the railway stretched across it and gave everybody an opportunity to see that, yeah, you can grow that here too. Kind of demonstration plots, as it were. Well, it's come a long way since then. There's not really a big station in Kamsack anymore. There once was one, fairly near here. There's still a platform there, and Via Rail still comes here. But as far as big fancy station, doesn't exist. Check this guy out. He is ready for summer already. Look at the blooms on that. It would look perfect in any garden. Of course, it looks really good here too. Little iris we found just on the edge of the caboose. Yeah, we're going to show you caboose in a second too. Look at him though. He's all ready for spring. One of my favorite parts of the Trackside Garden is the caboose. Now, they've got some trees and such planted around it, but they use this for different performances. It's got a stage on the front. We'll make our way around the front so you can see that. But certainly if you have kids, they're going to want to climb up on the caboose, and they can do that. The doors are locked, but you can get onto it fairly easy, so you can pretend to be riding the train. Clearly there was an issue with this caboose. It's CN 79576, but you see the big dent in it, and there isn't the proper platform on this end. Well, I assume it had an accident at some point before it was going to be scrapped. Then it ended up here in Kamsack. This tree is growing. We're going to come back to him at the very end and show you the pine cones that are growing so you can see what baby pine cones look like. For now, though, we'll head up on the deck. Imagine being a band setting up in here and then playing for a crowd. Well, lots of people would gather around. I've seen them put like bouncers and things here for kids' games too. Pretty neat spot. The caboose is actually set up as like almost a dressing room. So if you do the band thing, the town can let you in there. You can have your green room in the back of the caboose. That's pretty cool. Here's the view from up top. Lots of businesses across the street. I see the Source over there. Down the way, the Co-op, and there's also the Petrocan gas bar. So you're right in the middle of downtown here. Railway track off to the side. We've got a different video on the channel that explores what used to be there. In fact, a big roundhouse. We'll look at that and also show you some of the rail yard that used to be there. Lots of amazing history in Kamsack. We'll wander back through the garden now and take a second look at it. There's some interesting parts. We're just going by a sign here. That sign kind of gives you a bit of an idea of the whole area, where the railway track is, but also the Assiniboine River and what all's going on here. Kamsack used to have a pile of elevators that used to be stretched in right through here. It was a huge row. Well, they're down to only a couple now, but at least the garden's still here. Lots of ideas, of course, if you're thinking of gardening. Not only this video, but we've been visiting gardens across Manitoba and Saskatchewan. So if you search the word garden on the channel, you'll find lots more. From really small backyard gardens to really big ones like this one, and everything in between as well. The garden's laid out very nice with lots of rock here, so you're walking on the gravel, and then the plants have the dirt. There's water hooked up to the garden so the volunteers can come in here, stretch out the hose, and make sure nobody goes too thirsty if it happens to be a dry year. Of course, lots of rainwater falls here too, and that helps out. Here's the back side of that little fence. That is going to get even greener as the year goes on. Still a little bit of sticks showing there, but that's always how it is in the spring, and then by summertime it greens right up. If you're looking for the Trackside Garden, just come down Main Street in Kamsack. When you hit the stop sign, you'll see the garden right ahead of you. In the wintertime, there's even some Christmas trees down here. See, there's a statue here as well, a little cherub there with some angel wings. And check this out. They've made benches here out of railway wheels. That's a pretty neat setup, isn't it? And it feels really nice to sit in, and of course it's got that train theme going on like you'd expect from a trackside garden. Wouldn't mind one of those at home. Beautiful bridge here too. Now it's kind of a bridge over nothing. I don't know if that was ever filled in with water at one point or not. Right now it isn't, but certainly you could put a pond liner in there and make that into a little pond. That's also where the water comes up for the folks to do the watering. You can walk on over the bridge though. Kind of neat to just go up and over. I see a couple people in the background there enjoying the garden. Here's that tree I promised. See those red things? Those are baby pine cones. They're just growing, and those will grow up throughout the whole year and then eventually fall off and hopefully make some more trees. They're beautifully red though in the spring. Almost looks like flowers, but not quite. We'll fly on by the Trackside Garden and a little bit of the downtown here as well. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Farewell for now from Kamsack, Saskatchewan, flying over the Trackside Gardens. We'll see you on the next episode of Travels with Bill.